So the next topic, sine, cosine, tangent, and sine, cosine rule. So for this topic itself, the main thing is you have to test yourself whether you are able to identify the opposite, the hypotenuse, and adjacent. So opposite is self-explanatory. It's the angle that you're focusing at. The opposite side of it will be considered as opposite. Okay. The hypotenuse is also the standard one. It is not the horizontal or vertical line. Okay, it's the slanted one. And adjacent is the one that is near to the 90-degree sides of the angle. Okay, so sine equals to opposite over hypotenuse, cosine equals to adjacent over hypotenuse, and tangent equals to opposite over adjacent. Normally we memorize it using SOHCAHTOA, which is SOH, CAH, and TOA. Okay, so the other main rules that we are using here is sine rule and cosine rule. Okay, so you're not required to follow my arrangement over there. The angle is not necessary to be at the top. If you were to put it at the bottom, then the other angle that you're comparing must also be at the denominator side. Okay, so for example, we have sine A over A equals to sine B over B, okay, which translate into sine 35 over 12 and sine B over 15. Run the rearrangement, okay, then you will get your B's angle as 45.8. okay. As for cosine rule, okay, when do you actually use it is where either you have 3 of the sides or you have both of the sides and one of the angle. Okay, this is the condition where you will be using cosine rule. Okay, so there's two ways to interpret this cosine rule. Okay, you're required to memorize the formula, okay, which is a squared equals to b squared plus c squared minus 2bc cosine a. Okay, if you don't want to memorize the other format, okay, then you need to learn how do you shift off the excess variables, okay, to identify the angle A. So over here at the next slide, it actually has an example question. Calculate the angle of ADE. So AD is the hypotenuse and ED is the adjacent. So cosine ADE equals to 6 over 12. Cosine inverse 6 over 12 equals to angle ADE equals to 60 degree. Whereby for you to calculate AB's length, okay, since it is at the hypotenuse side, so you can use the Pythagoras theorem whereby BC squared plus AC squared equals to AB squared. And for you to calculate angle ADC, since it is a equilateral triangle, just take 180 divided by 3, then you will get the interior angle as 60. For the next question, this is the more common one where they ask you to identify the angle of FB with the plane EFGH. So F is the repeating one, okay? So we already have BG's value, which is 5. So you need at least one more for you to run the calculation. So the side that's missing will be FG. Okay, so using Pythagoras theorem and focusing at the plane itself of EFGH, you should get the results as 8.94 after the calculation. Okay, with that being said, you can now run and get the angle of BFG. So since you already have the opposite and adjacent, then you're required to use tangent, okay, to identify the results. Okay, so you have the opposite, which is 5 at the numerator and 8.94 at the denominator. Inverse tangent 5 over 8.94, you will get 29.2 degree.